So recently I was out at Point Reyes National Seashore, and on the way there I stopped at the U.S. Historic Life-Saving Cemetery. It is a small cemetery, I mean really small. And whenever I'm out that way, I usually stop, not for long, just to pay my respects. This time though, it looked kind of rough. There had been a couple of winter storms and eucalyptus bark was everywhere. Leaves piled up, branches down. It hadn't been tended to in a while. I picked up a few big things while I was there, but honestly, it was still kind of a mess and I had to run. And ever since then, it's been bugging me. The men buried there, they deserve better than that. Now, I know it's not my job, I know it's not my responsibility, but still, that just doesn't feel like a good enough excuse. I'm not doing this just to make a video. I mean, I am making a video, but that's because I want to go back and do the cleanup. And then I figured I would share the story of the men who were buried there with you. So technically, this cemetery is in Point Reyes National Seashore, and technically that is a national park, which means there are going to be rules about like what I can and can't do in the park. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in violation of one or two or three different laws, because you know there are always laws about this stuff. But I'm not particularly worried because what's going to happen? So a ranger rolls up upon me and I'm cleaning this cemetery. Well, he's probably going to let me slide because I'm old. And when you're old, you get away with stuff like that. And he thinks I'm harmless, and I am, mostly. Okay, nerdy part now. This is the part where this cemetery became more than just a cemetery. I had to put myself in the Wayback Machine and go back to Point Reyes in the late 1800s. It was incredibly remote and cold and windy and foggy most of the time. This was dairy and beef country. Some of the ranches out here, well, they've been out here operating for well over 150 years. They were established to serve the growing population of San Francisco, because when you go back to that time period and you think about the gold rush and you think about the growth of Northern California, well, they needed food, they needed beef and butter and milk and eggs and all kinds of stuff, and a lot of that stuff came in on ships. And going around Point Reyes in the late 1800s, well, it was freaking dangerous. In fact, between, I believe it was 1849 and 1925, there were over 50 shipwrecks and countless people lost their lives. So it was in 1871, I believe, that the U.S. Congress founded the U.S. Life-Saving Service. And one of the places that they put a station was out here on Point Reyes. And the men who were stationed here, they basically walked up and down the beach day and night looking for shipwrecks, looking for people to help. The waves here are big and powerful, and these men had to get heavy wooden boats through that surf to reach people in trouble. That's flippin' impressive. And I think that's the thing that really touched me. Who were these men? Why did they come here? Whenever I visit this cemetery, it gives me quiet time to think about that and to respect what they did. The men buried here came from Finland, Sweden, and Germany. And at that time, in that part of the world, a lot of people were leaving. Economic pressure, political instability, limited opportunity. America was a way out. And if you had maritime experience, especially from the powerful North Sea, if you were from that area, the Life-Saving Service was happy to have you. These men crossed half the world, landed in San Francisco, and then took a job out here. Cold, foggy, isolated, far from family, far from anything familiar. Now, that's a hard road, but the job came with a bed and 3 square meals a day and a paycheck, when those things might have been hard to come by. Up in the trees is where the cemetery sits now, but originally these men weren't buried here. They were buried down near the coast, close to the life-saving service bunkhouse, near where they died. But the coast erodes, heavy storms shift sand. By the late 1800s, coffins were at risk of being exposed, headstones were leaning or disappearing entirely. Something had to change, so the life-saving service leadership worked with the local ranch owners and came up with a solution. Move them up to the top of the bluff, somewhere more protected, more permanent. Cemetery is small, it's simple, and that size, that simplicity, it gives me a certain feeling, one that hits me different. These men did difficult, dangerous work without recognition, without legacy, quiet excellence. I think we could all use a little bit more of that right now. Andrew Anderson, Fred Karstens. They died December 12, 1890. They were running a routine surfboat drill. As they brought the boat back in towards the shore, a sudden heavy breaker caught the vessel and flipped it. Anderson and Karstens were trapped beneath the capsized boat and were crushed. John Coppola didn't die in a storm. He died from a hemorrhage of his lungs, most likely tuberculosis. In early March of 1891, he complained of chills and a headache. The station keeper tried to treat him with home remedies, including what they called a whiskey punch. He was found dead in his bunk the next morning. I think about how desperate you'd have to be to cross an ocean, lie about your health, and hope your body holds together long enough to make it all worthwhile. George Larson. In March of 1893, he was participating in a surfboat drill when an unexpected breaker flipped the boat. Larson was struck by the gunwale and killed instantly. His death may have been the catalyst that finally pushed the decision to move the cemetery inland. So today I did my part. I cleared my conscience. I cleaned things up a bit, did my best to be respectful. Now, I don't really know the best way to remember them. I just know that today it felt wrong to leave it the way it was, so I didn't. Now I'd like to share a little of my own history with you. My family has been in California for 125 years, and while it seems like everyone is leaving, we are definitely staying. Click here to see why this state has been so good to us. I think you'll love this story.